Hello everyone and welcome to Yoga with Julia Wiley. I'm Julia and today we're going to be doing a deep stretch yoga for legs and hips. Now this is great for runners to stretch out all the muscles in your legs. It's also great for anyone who suffers from lower back problems, as a lot of lower back pain can be caused by tight hamstrings. Now for this class you might like to use a strap or a belt, although you can manage without it. We're going to be starting off standing. You just bring your legs apart, hands onto your hips, and just bend down over to your left, just stretching out the right leg here, and then take it over to the other side. So let's go back and forth a few times, just warming up the legs here.
Take the hips way behind you for this move.
And then take it over to your left, come on your back toes and come into a lunge. So keeping the back nice and straight and long, lunge into the front leg, making sure the knee is not over your front toes here. You're on your back toes, so the heel is lifted. And then lower that leg down. Take your front foot a little bit further away so you can get into a really deep lunge here. Stretching out the hip flexors, stretching out the quadriceps. And breathe into it. And then come on your back toes, lift yourself back up into a standing lunge, and we'll take it to the other side. So bring the feet a little closer to start with. Come onto your back toe and stretch down over your right leg. And then lower the back knee down, take your stance a little bit wider and lunge into that front leg. Enjoying that lovely stretch. Again, come on the back toes, lifting that back leg up, step your feet in, bring yourself up, give your legs a little bit of a shake out, and then bring the legs apart again, toes a little bit wider than the heels, and bend down, pressing the knees out to the side with your leg strength. Keep the spine nice and long, bring your arms up overhead, stretch long, and pull back. And then let's go up and down a few times here. So keeping the spine nice and long, the arms reaching up and back. And one more time, hold it down here for a moment. And bring it up. All done. Give the legs a shake out again. Now if you bring your weight onto your right leg, bring the left foot up behind you, pressing the heel in towards the hip, tuck the hips under. And you should feel a nice quadricep stretch here. And then without bringing the foot down if you can, bring the knee forwards, hug it in, and taking the strap, see if you can wrap it around your left foot, and bringing the other hand onto your waist. Slowly stretch the leg out in front of you. So you could be holding your foot or your leg if you don't have a strap. Finding your balance here, push out through the heel. And then take the leg out to the side, hold it here. And back to the center. And then see if you can keep your leg up nice and high without the strap. And we're going to come back into that quadricep stretch. So take the leg back without touching the floor, grab hold of your foot, bringing the heel in towards the hip, tuck the hip forwards, and release, and we'll do the other side. Well done. So you want to bring your weight onto your left foot now, slowly bend the other leg, grab hold of your right foot, bringing the heel in towards your hip, tucking the hip forwards, breathe into it. Working on balance here as well as a steep stretch. And then bring the leg forwards, hug the knee in. And then taking the strap in your right hand, this time, hook it around your foot. The strap comes on the inside of the knee here. If you're using a strap, stand nice and tall and send that leg up, pushing out through the heel. And then take the leg out to the side. back to the center. And release the strap, keep the leg up nice and high, hold it here. Take the strap in your other hand, bend that knee, and then take the leg back, grabbing hold of the foot behind you, press it in towards the hip. And release, well done. Now bring your legs wider apart, having the feet parallel. Turn to face your left leg, lengthen through the spine as you look up. Inhale here, exhale, stretch down over that leg. Bring your hand down to grab hold of the leg or the ankles or the foot. Both legs stay straight. Look up again for a moment. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, again, stretch down over the leg. Breathe into it. And straighten the spine, hands onto your waist, bring yourself up and turn to face the other leg. Again, inhale, look up, stretching long. Exhale, come down over your right leg this time. Grab hold of the leg or the ankle or the foot, stretching down. Then look up for a moment, inhale, exhale. See if you can stretch a little further down the leg. Head is relaxed. And then hands onto your waist, come up with a nice straight spine. Now take your left toes out a little bit to the side, come down into a lunge. See if you can take the right toes up to the ceiling. Lunge right down, pressing this knee out with your elbow. If you can't come down so low, the pose could be more like this for you, and that's fine. Otherwise, as low as you can get it, shift your weight a little bit backwards, hold it. And then we'll take it over to the other side. So shift the weight to the right, left foot up to the ceiling this time. Or again, if you can't come down so low, that's fine. Take it to where your body will let you. And then come back up and face the left leg and bring the back knee down. So you're into a lunge here. Now take your left hand, if you can, grab the back of the ankle and bring your other hand down, or maybe your elbow will come to the floor. Bring your face down towards the foot. If you can, see if you can take that back leg a little further back. This is the lizard pose. So from here we're going to go into a splits preparation. So pull your weight backwards, taking the toes up towards the ceiling. Pull back with your hips. You can feel a stretch all the way from the heel up to your hip here. Stay here for a couple of breaths and then come forward again. Now see if you can take that front foot a little bit further away. So a little bit more into the splits. And then again, pull back, so the toes up towards the ceiling, lengthening the leg. And we're going to go back and forth a few times, and you take it as far into the splits as you can, or as you feel comfortable for doing. And this is how we learn to do the splits, very gradually. If you work on it for a few months, you'll find that you get very noticeably more flexible and closer to the ground. So again, take it back, toes towards the ceiling, stretching out that front leg. And let's take it again forwards. Bring it as far as you can. Perhaps you can come all the way down to the full splits, in which case you might be doing it right now. Otherwise, wherever feels right for you, breathe into it. And one more time, pull back, bringing that toes up to the ceiling on the front foot. Then shift your weight back a little bit so you can release that front leg, and we're going to come into Pigeon Pose. So you want to bend the knee here, slide your other leg behind, and see if you can bring this left leg around with a bit of an angle. Bring the hips back parallel with the mat. Look up for a moment here, stretching out the spine, and then bring yourself down into this wonderful hip stretch. Just let your weight carry you over into this pose. Gravity doing its job. If this bothers your knee, then bring your foot back around just underneath your leg instead of having it at an angle, and you might find that that's enough for you. Just listen to the body. Now if you bring your left hand in front of your body, take hold of the strap, see if you can grab your foot behind you and bring the foot gently in towards the body. If you prefer, you can hold that back foot. And release. And we're going to do the other side. So bring the knees together and then your right leg out in front of you into a lunge. Slide the back leg back a bit and then see if you can bring your right hand to grab the back of that ankle and your other hand or maybe your arm comes down and bring your face down towards the floor. Lizard pose. Breathe into it. And then pushing into the mat, come up, bring the front toes up towards you and pull back so you feel that stretch again from the heel up to the hip on the right side this time. Breathing into the stretch. And then bend the front knee, slide that foot forward a little bit and come into a lunge. You might find it easier with your hands on the inside of your foot. Stretch forward with the chest. And then again take it back. So toes up towards the ceiling. Pull back so you feel a nice stretch all the way up that right leg. And we'll come forward again. So slide that front leg forward unless you're at a point where it was already enough for you, and then always listen to the body. If you want to, you can come down again onto your forearms here or else stay up on your hands, whichever works. You might find one side is more flexible than the other. So let's take it back again. Toes up towards the ceiling, stretch it out for a few breaths. And then bring it into your splits or as far into the splits as your body wants to bring it. Again, you can come onto your elbows or stay up on your hands. Listen to the body, don't take it to where it's too painful. Breathe into it. And bring yourself up slowly to release the pose. We're going to come into pigeon pose on this side now. So either have your foot underneath the thigh, or if you can, bring it at a little bit of an angle. Slide your back leg back, keeping the hips parallel to the mat. Press into your mat, look up so you've got a nice long spine. And as you exhale, slowly lower yourself down into this wonderful hip stretch, the pigeon stretch. Breathe into it. Relax into this pose. Take a couple of breaths here. And then gently press yourself up again. Have your strap handy with your left hand. If you have your strap, bend the leg behind. Maybe you can grab the foot with the strap and bring it in towards you, or you might like to just grab the foot and do it this way, or just skip this part altogether. And then release, bring yourself around to sitting. Sit up nice and straight. You want to have this tilt forwards on your hips here, so not spine rounded this way. You might even like to sit on a cushion for this next one. Bring the strap around your feet, unless you can quite easily grab hold of your feet or your toes. So stretch forwards, legs stay straight, but not so straight that you're pressing the knees down. Just naturally straight, pushing out through the feet. Stretch the chest forwards as you inhale, and then as you exhale, come down. So tummy comes down first, and then the chest, and then your head just relaxes wherever you get to. So if you're up here and that's your pose, then that's completely fine. Listen to the body. If you want to, you can grab around the feet if that's in your flexibility range. ease up very slowly from the pose. Now bend your left knee in up towards the top of the right thigh and turn to face your right leg. Bring the strap around the foot again, so your whole body's facing the right leg. Stretch forward again, lifting up through the chest, and then come forward again. So tummy down and then chest, and then finally let your head relax down wherever you get to. Breathe into it. And ease up from the pose. Now bend your right leg, shorten the strap a bit, and see if you can send that leg up towards the ceiling. Again, you can hold onto your foot if that works better for you. Either way, press out through the heel, bringing the toes towards you. And then release the strap, so you can keep the leg up nice and high. And then bring that foot, if you can, all the way over the top of the other thigh. Now you might want to shift this leg around a little bit. Stretch tall as you inhale, and as you exhale, walk yourself forwards and hang into this pose. And then walking it back up. Bring your left hand on the outside of the knee, other hand behind. Sit up tall and press into a twist. This should feel really nice. And release, and we're going to do the other side. So stretch your legs out, maybe give them a little bit of a shake out, and then we're going to bring your right foot up to the inside of your left thigh this time. Bring the strap around your left foot, stretch up nice and long, and then exhale, coming down, tummy, chest, and then let your head relax wherever you get to. Breathe into it. And then come up, lengthen the strap a little bit first, bend your knee, and then take a shorter strap again and send that leg out. Straight spine, push out through the heel, or you can always hold onto the toes and press out through the heel this way. And try and keep that leg up for a moment, nice and straight, before bringing the foot over the top of your right knee. You might want to adjust your stance a little bit so that you're nice and square with the hips on the mat. Lengthen out through the chest and bring yourself forward. Let your head relax down. Easing yourself up from this now. Take your right hand to the outside of your left knee, other hand behind. Sit up tall as you inhale, and exhale. Press into the twist. Looking back, keep breathing, bringing out the spine. And release. Now come over onto one side, rock your hip forward so it's in line with the body, and lift that leg up. And then point and flex the foot a few times here. And then bend the knee, hug it into the chest, take hold of your strap, wrap it around your foot and stretch it up towards the ceiling. You can grab hold of the foot if you prefer, or else keep holding onto the strap. Lengthen up through the heel. And release and come over to do the other side. So again, rock the hip forward in line with the body, take up the leg, point and flex the foot a few times here. And then bend the knee, hug it into the chest, and then bring the strap around your foot and stretch it up. So push up through the heel and bring the leg up towards you at the same time. Again, you can hold onto the foot if that works better for you. And then release. Bring yourself up now into Cobbler's pose. So the feet together, pressing the knees out to the side. Open your feet up as if you were reading a book and press the knees out without bouncing. Lengthen up through the spine. Inhale, and then as you exhale, come forwards. Either walk your hands in front or bring your hands onto your feet. I like to have my elbows on the front of my shins as well, so that I can really pull myself forward. And then bring your chest down and let your head just relax. I'm going to come up into a variation of the boat. So grab hold of your feet here. Shift your weight back until you can get a balance and see if you can bring your feet up towards the ceiling. If you roll back, don't worry. So again, pressing out through the heels, finding a balance here. And then see if you can bring your hands down, point the toes, stretch the legs up, and then open the legs out like a letter V, holding the balance here. Bring them back up again. And lower them slowly down. Shift your hips forward. We're going to come slowly down onto the mat. Keep your strap handy. Bring your knees into the chest. Hug them in and let yourself rock very gently side to side. Now bring your feet down close to your hips with your legs just hip width apart. Take your hips slowly up, tucking the tailbone under, press up the lower spine and then the middle spine, and then come up as high as you can. So you've got your feet and your shoulders pressing into the mat. If you can, clasp your hands underneath you and wriggle the shoulder blades under, pressing the clasped hands down into the mat. Push up as high as you can without letting the knees splay outwards. And take your hands up behind your head, hold on to your shoulders and let your spine walk down one vertebra at a time, starting from your upper back and then the middle back, and slowly the lower back comes down, and then reverse. So tucking the tailbone under, lift the lower spine and the middle, and then push up as high as you can. Have your head facing towards the ceiling here, and then if you can, come on tiptoes, push really high, hold it, and slowly again lower down, upper back, tucking that tailbone right under, bring down the middle back and the lower back until your back is flat. And then bring the knees in, hug them in, bring your head up, so you'll roll up in a little ball. And then release, bring your right foot to the ground and bring the strap around your left foot. Stretch that foot up towards the ceiling and then see if you can straighten out your right leg along the floor. Again, pushing up through the heel. Breathe into this lovely stretch. And then see if you can lift your head and chest up towards the leg. Now you don't want to be scrunching your head forward. Keep this nice straight line between your head and your chest. So you imagine you're bringing your chest up towards your shin. And lie back down, release, and we'll swap legs. So bringing your right foot into the strap, the other leg is bent, stretch foot up towards the ceiling, bringing the foot in towards you, towards your face. Slowly straighten your left leg out along the floor. And then see if you can lift it again, chest up towards the shin. You won't get to the shin, but that's where you're aiming. And lower yourself down, release the strap. Again, hug your knees in and let yourself rock side to side. And then take both feet up towards the ceiling for inverted lake pose. So press them up as high as they'll go, as if you were trying to make footprints on the ceiling. And then point your toes, open the legs like a letter V, and lift up with your chest between your legs. And then lie back down again, hugging the knees into the chest. Let your right foot come to the floor and bring your left knee over. pressing it out to the side. And then see if you can reach around the right thigh, gently bringing that in towards you for a reclining pigeon pose. So this is again a great hip stretch, leg stretch. And we'll swap to the other leg. So your right foot comes across, gently press the knee out to the side. And then see if you can grab around that left thigh, bringing it in towards you. So the right knee is going out to the side with your leg strength. Nice stretch. Very deep hip stretch. And release that. Bring both knees in, hug them in, rock gently side to side. And we're going to do a lying twist to finish off. So hug the left knee in, stretching out your right leg along the floor. Bring your right hand on the outside of the knee, gently pressing the knee over to the right as you look over towards the left side. Breathe into it. This is a great lower back release. And we'll swap sides. So hug in your right leg and let your left leg stretch out along the floor. And then take the left hand to the outside of the knee, other hand out to the side, look over to the right as you press the knee over to the left. And breathe into it. Again, ease back onto your back, hug that knee in and bring the other one up and let yourself rock side to side. Bring the knees close to your body and then a little further away. It's like a little back massage, so you can adjust whichever part you'd like to press into the floor to ease out any tightness. Now bring the feet up, grab hold of the outside of your legs. Bring the knees down for baby pose. Take a couple of breaths here. And then let your feet come down, feet together, let your knees flop out to the sides and relax here in reclining cobbler's pose for a few breaths. Eyes can be gently closed. Well done. And then you might like to straighten your legs out along the floor. Adjust your shoulders any way that feel comfortable and totally relax here. Now if you haven't already done so, you may like to subscribe to my channel and you'll get notified when I come out with my new videos. You may also like to try some of my meditations. I have some 5 or 10 minute ones which might be perfect after a yoga class. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.